Question 1. A security-conscious company wants to implement least privilege access for its AWS resources. Developers should only have access to the resources they need. Permissions should be automatically revoked when not in use. All access changes should be logged. Which approach should they take? Options: A. Use IAM roles and enforce temporary credentials with AWS STSB, assign IAM policies directly to each user. C. Allow full access to resources and rely on CloudTrail for monitoring. D. Use security groups to control access to AWS services. Correct answer: A. Use IAM roles and enforce temporary credentials with AWS STS. Explanation: IAM roles allow assigning permissions dynamically based on need. AWS STS, Security Token Service, issues temporary credentials, reducing risk. CloudTrail logs access changes for auditing. Why not other options? Option B. Direct IAM user policies increase management complexity. Option C. Monitoring alone does not enforce least privilege. Option D. Security groups control network access, not IAM permissions. Question 2. A multinational company requires a globally distributed database for its e-commerce platform. Data updates should be available across regions within seconds. The solution must be managed with minimal operational overhead. Strong consistency is not required, but availability is crucial. Which AWS service is the best fit? Options: A. Amazon Aurora Global Database. B. Amazon DynamoDB Global Tables. C. Amazon RDS Multi-AZ. D. AWS Glue with cross-region replication. Correct answer: B. Amazon DynamoDB Global Tables. Explanation: DynamoDB Global Tables provide eventual consistency across regions. Fully managed and automatically replicates data. Optimized for high availability and performance. Why not other options? Option A. Aurora Global Database is better for relational databases, not NoSQL. Option C. RDS Multi-AZ is for failover, not global replication. Option D. Glue is for ETL, not real-time global databases. Question 3. An online bank wants to detect fraudulent transactions in real time. Transactions must be analyzed immediately. The system must scale dynamically based on incoming data. Streaming data must be processed with minimal delay. Which solution is best? Options: A. Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics with AWS Lambda. B. Amazon S3 with AWS Glue ETL. C. Amazon EMR with Apache Spark Streaming. D. Amazon RDS with scheduled SQL queries. Correct answer: A. Amazon Kinesis Data Analytics with AWS Lambda. Explanation: Kinesis Data Analytics processes real-time streaming data. AWS Lambda provides scalable, event-driven fraud detection. This setup ensures immediate analysis and action. Why not other options? Option B. S3 with Glue is batch-based, not real-time. Option C. EMR is powerful, but more complex and costly. Option D. RDS is not suitable for real-time streaming data. Question 4. A web application is hosted on Amazon EC2 and needs to access an Amazon S3 bucket. The application must securely access the S3 bucket without storing credentials on the EC2 instance. Access should be granted only to specific objects within the bucket. The solution should be scalable and follow security best practices. Which approach should be used? Options: A. Store AWS credentials in the application's configuration file. B. Use an IAM role attached to the EC2 instance with specific S3 permissions. C. Manually create an IAM user and distribute access keys to the application. D. Use S3 pre-signed URLs for every request. Correct answer: B. Use an IAM role attached to the EC2 instance with specific S3 permissions. Explanation: IAM roles provide temporary security credentials to EC2 instances. No credentials are stored in the instance, reducing security risks. Fine-grained access control can be applied using IAM policies. Why not other options? Option A, storing credentials in a file is insecure. Option C, manually distributing IAM access keys increases security risks. Option D, pre-signed URLs work for short-term access but are not scalable. Question 5. A company wants to build a data lake that can store and process petabytes of structured and unstructured data. Data should be highly available and durable. It should support analytics workloads such as Athena and Redshift Spectrum. Storage costs should be optimized for infrequent access. Which AWS storage service is the best fit? Options: A. Amazon EBS with snapshots for backup. B. Amazon S3 with lifecycle policies and intelligent tiering. C. Amazon EFS with multiple mount targets. D. Amazon RDS with read replicas. Correct answer: B. Amazon S3 with lifecycle policies and intelligent tiering. Explanation: Amazon S3 provides durable, scalable, and cost-effective object storage. Lifecycle policies help automatically transition infrequently accessed data to cheaper storage tiers. Athena and Redshift Spectrum can query data directly from S3. Why not other options? Option A, EBS is block storage and not designed for large-scale analytics. Option C, EFS is for file storage, not an optimal choice for a data lake. Option D, RDS is a relational database, not designed for massive data lakes. Question 6. A global e-commerce platform runs its application across multiple AWS regions. Customers should be automatically directed to the nearest region for low latency. The architecture should be resilient against regional failures. The solution should be cost-effective and scalable. Which AWS service should be used? Options: A. AWS Global Accelerator. B. Amazon CloudFront. C. Route 53 with latency-based routing. D. Application Load Balancer with cross-region failover. Correct answer: C. Route 53 with latency-based routing. Explanation: Route 53 latency-based routing directs users to the nearest AWS region. It helps minimize response time and improves user experience. It supports failover configurations to ensure resilience. Why not other options? Option A, Global Accelerator improves performance but is more expensive than Route 53. Option B, CloudFront is for content caching, not global traffic routing. Option D, ALB does not perform global routing. Question 7. A company is migrating its PostgreSQL database from on-premises to AWS. Minimal downtime is required. The database must remain fully functional during the migration. The solution should be automated and reliable. Which AWS service is best for this migration? Options: A. AWS Database Migration Service, DMS. B. Create an EC2 instance and manually restore the database from a backup. C. Use AWS Snowball to transfer database backups. D. Use AWS Data Sync to sync the database files. Correct answer: A. AWS Database Migration Service, DMS. Explanation: AWS DMS supports live database replication with minimal downtime. It allows continuous synchronization between source and target databases. Fully managed and supports heterogeneous database migrations. Why not other options? Option B, manual restores cause longer downtime. Option C, Snowball is for bulk data transfer, not real-time database migration. Option D, Data Sync is used for file transfer, not databases. Question 8. A smart home device manufacturer generates millions of sensor readings per second. The data must be processed in real time. The solution must be fully managed and scale automatically. Processed data should be stored for later analysis. Which AWS solution is best? Options: A. Amazon Kinesis data streams with AWS Lambda. B. Amazon SQS with an EC2 consumer application. C. Amazon Redshift with scheduled ETL jobs. D. Amazon RDS with read replicas for scalability. Correct answer: A. Amazon Kinesis data streams with AWS Lambda. Explanation: Kinesis data streams can ingest and process real-time data at scale. AWS Lambda can process streaming events without managing servers. This setup ensures real-time event handling and cost efficiency. Why not other options? Option B: SQS is for message queues, not high-throughput real-time streaming. Option C: Redshift is for batch processing, not real-time streaming. Option D: RDS is not designed for high-velocity IoT data ingestion. Question 9. A social media startup wants to optimize costs while ensuring high availability. Application traffic is unpredictable and fluctuates throughout the day. Unused compute resources should be minimized to reduce costs. The solution should automatically scale with demand. Which auto-scaling approach is most cost-effective? Options: A. Use EC2 auto-scaling with on-demand instances. B. Use EC2 auto-scaling with a mix of on-demand and spot instances. C. Manually scale EC2 instances based on historical traffic data. D. Use AWS Lambda to run the entire application serverlessly. Correct answer: B. Use EC2 auto-scaling with a mix of on-demand and spot instances. Explanation: Spot instances reduce costs significantly compared to on-demand instances. On-demand instances provide stability for baseline workloads. Auto-scaling ensures resources are only provisioned when needed. Why not other options? Option A: on-demand alone is more expensive. Option C: manual scaling is inefficient and prone to errors. Option D: Lambda works for event-driven apps, but not full-scale applications. Question 10. A healthcare application is deploying an API backend that serves mobile and web applications. The API must handle thousands of requests per second. It must be highly available and secure. User authentication and rate limiting should be managed. Only authorized users should access the API. Which AWS service should be used to host the API? Options: A. Run API on an EC2 instance with an ALB in front. B. Deploy an API gateway with AWS Lambda. C. Host the API on an ECS cluster with an application load balancer. D. Use an RDS database to store API logic and serve requests directly. Correct answer: B. Deploy an API gateway with AWS Lambda. Explanation: Amazon API Gateway provides managed authentication, throttling, and caching. AWS Lambda scales automatically to handle high API traffic. Fully serverless, reducing management overhead and cost. Why not other options? Option A: EC2 instances need to be manually scaled and maintained. Option C: ECS requires container management overhead. Option D: RDS is a database, not an API execution platform.